People have an irrational aversion to nuclear power, an emotional aversion. They do not even need to think about it, they just dislike it. They associate it with radiation, nuclear weapons, Chernobyl, Fukushima. They associate it with bad things. And there have been disasters, more as a result of human error than any fundamental flaw. Professional staff, rational planning, good maintenance, and high-quality equipment can keep the risks associated with nuclear energy minuscule. And technology is advancing rapidly. I don't want to build a Chernobyl-style power plant anywhere. Like all technology, nuclear technology advances. More effective and safer nuclear energy infrastructure is always developing. Nuclear energy may be part of the solution to climate change. At the very least, it is a lot less destructive than fossil fuels. We must not allow our likelihood of dealing with climate change to be reduced by an irrational fear of the word nuclear. Because nuclear energy does not mean crappy, badly maintained infrastructure, and it does not mean nuclear weapons. Nuclear energy has the potential to be extremely safe and enormously efficient as an energy source. And at the very least, it is a lot better than the fossil fuels which pose an enormous threat to the world as we know it. I am not arguing that we should adopt nuclear power. I am arguing that we should abandon our emotional aversion to it. I am arguing that we should cease to instinctively reject it. I am arguing that we should be open to it. I am arguing that we should consider it. I am arguing that it could potentially be part of the solution to the climate change threat. Many people have concerns about nuclear waste and environmental issues. The reality is that nuclear energy is far less of an environmental risk than fossil fuels. We cannot afford to be picky. Climate change could be devastating. We are in no position to find an ideal, perfect solution. We need a solution urgently. Nuclear power can provide a momentous amount of energy with far less environmental destruction. We can perfect our energy supply when we are in a safer position. We can decide what form of green energy we want when we are not teetering off the edge of a cliff. Nuclear energy is a huge improvement over fossil fuels. Nuclear energy could be a part of the solution to climate change, at least temporarily. Of course, it has its downsides. Nuclear waste, the potential for disasters. But there is no environmentally perfect energy source. Wind turbines kill masses of birds. Hydroelectric power relies on dams, which threaten the life cycle of many fish species. No form of energy is perfect. In politics, we deal in lesser evils and lesser evils alone. And in contrast with fossil fuels, nuclear energy is a lesser evil. In New Zealand, there are concerns about natural disasters. Earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes. I think these concerns are valid, and they may rule out the idea of nuclear power. But it is also true that technology has advanced a lot, and many risks can be mitigated, at least to an extent. But of course we should be wary. It is my view that nuclear power should at least be considered. It should at least be an option on the table. It should not be instinctively ruled out. We are in no position to instinctively rule anything out. We are in no position to let personal emotions and national feelings get in the way of climate change solutions. The threat is far too great. We should take the nuclear option seriously, as should all countries all over the world. Climate change is a major national security threat. We must address it in a cool-headed, rational way. We should not be led astray by instinctive sentiments, emotional disdain, and irrational aversions. If we are going to be dominated by this kind of irrationality, we stand no chance against the threat that is climate change. It is time for a pragmatic, rational approach, that takes all solutions into account when dealing with this great national security threat of our time.